My name is Grant Bouvier. I am a admissions counselor at Rutgers Camden, and I'm going to be giving you guys a little presentation on Rutgers Camden, the admission process, a little bit about the school, academics. We're going to hit a whole laundry list of stuff for everyone. So, Rutgers Camden. I'm sure we know about Rutgers. I'm sure we know a little bit about Rutgers Camden, but I am going to share some more in-depth information and kind of hit a lot of points today for all of you. So this is just a little table of contents, a little agenda of the stuff we're going to get through today. We're going to talk about tiny little mini history lesson, and by tiny mini I mean very tiny mini, and we're going to talk about the various schools inside Rutgers Camden. We're going to talk about some of the different student support programs, campus life, everyone's favorite, admissions and financial aid, the exciting stuff, and then final outcomes, and we'll have some time for Q&A. So let's dive right in. About Rutgers Camden. So Rutgers Camden originally was founded in 1929. It was the South Jersey Law School and the College of South Jersey. These institutions would eventually merge with Rutgers, the state university of New Jersey, in 1950. So Rutgers has about 5,000 undergraduate students. We have about 2,000 graduate students. The male-female ratio is roughly 60-40. Always a little bit of flux there, but at the moment it is about 60-40, as you see. And we have about 750 residential students, so students living on campus. And we have 17 NCAA Division III athletic teams. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along. So just a little bit about Rutgers, on just straight glance. It was rated one of the top public schools in South Jersey by U.S. News and World Report. It is considered the quote unquote best bang for your buck school by Washington Monthly. We'll talk a little bit more about what that means as we go along. It was the first Purple Heart University in New Jersey. We really care about our veterans, and our veterans are a population that we really make effort to really go above and beyond for. These last two bullet points, we're going to talk about these more as we go, but I will mention them now. We do have a 97% placement rate. That's a number that we are very proud of as a university. That's graduates going into their prospective careers with a full-time position or going to grad school. And also our average mid-career salary is $87,000. So those are going to get talked about, as I said, more down the line, but definitely keep those numbers in your head. So academics, let's talk about academics here. So Camden has 4 schools primarily. The law school is only graduate. So I'm not going to talk about that too much, since I don't think anyone in here is necessarily looking at graduate programs yet. So the 3 that are of interest to us are the School of Nursing, which is exclusively nursing program, deals exclusively with our nursing program. There's the School of Business, which deals primarily with majors such as finance, marketing, management, things of that nature. And then we have the School of Arts and Sciences. And the School of Arts and Sciences is kind of our largest school. It encompasses the most in terms of the programs in it. Everything from biology to psychology to sociology to the fine arts, things like theater, music, graphic design, visual art. These are all things that are contained within our School of Arts and Sciences, the Camden College of Arts and Sciences, as it is officially named. So a little bit more about what we offer in terms of academics. 99% of our faculty have terminal degrees, so either a doctorate or an MFA or something of that nature. And what this means is that our faculty are truly experts in their field. They have achieved the highest level of academic accreditation that they can. So when you're taking a class at Rutgers Camden, you are almost definitely taking it with somebody who is, an expert in their topic, their area of focus. We have Guggenheim Fellowships, Pulitzer Prizes, National Science Foundation grants that have been given to our faculty members, very well represented in the academic upper echelon of the world. Another thing that Rutgers Camden is known for, that our faculty is heavily involved in, is our research. Rutgers Camden is known as a research institution. And what this means is that most of our faculty are engaged in some type of active academic research in their field. What that means for students, what that means for an undergraduate student who might be interested in Rutgers, is that if you are taking a course or studying with a particular faculty member, you will likely have an opportunity to get involved in the research they're doing, whether this be directly through employment opportunities or simply working as a research assistant for them. It's really an invaluable experience to kind of get that hands-on research activity under your belt when you're an undergrad. And it's not something that's super common, and it's certainly something that if you're interested in a longer term kind of academic career, it's extremely valuable to be involved in that type of thing. Rutgers Camden faculty and students are often featured and published in national academic journals. This kind of goes hand in hand with the research work. It's not uncommon for undergrads to get published as well, along with faculty and graduate students when they're doing research. Something that's really important to me personally, as somebody who went to a small college for undergrad, is Rutgers student to faculty ratio is 15 to 1, which is really, really something that to me is very important. You're in small classrooms and you get one-on-one time with your professors, and you really get to experience the full immersion of whatever course it is you're in, because you're not necessarily dealing with TAs or anything like that. You are making a direct connection with your faculty and your classmates as well, which is also very important. Hugely beneficial, and it's one of the, again, something that Rutgers Camden is very proud of, is our student to faculty ratio, and the kind of one-on-one attention and kind of opportunities you're able to get because of that. So student support, let's talk a little bit about the support services that we offer as a university. So the Office of Student Academic Success is an office on campus that encompasses many different moving parts. One thing that we do that is something that's really important to us is that we have student success coaches. So what is that? What is a student success coach? When you enroll and attend as a freshman, you will be assigned a student success coach. This is different from an academic advisor. This is an individual who is, basically tasked with helping you acclimate to, your freshman year of college, and assist you in whatever kind of ways that you may need to be assisted. Let's say you're attending college and it's your first time away from home. Let's say you're also working a job and you're trying to balance, your class schedule and work and life. Your student success coach is there to kind of help you organize things if you need help, or help you with just advice, or help guide you with, finding the right resource on campus that maybe they can't provide you, but we do have for you. So these student success coaches are really individuals that we have to be able to help you be successful at Rutgers Camden your freshman year, and grow as a person and as a student, and be academically successful. The EOF program is the Educational Opportunity Fund. I am actually an EOF, my admissions counselor area of expertise and my specific area is EOF. So the Educational Opportunity Fund is essentially a program, a New Jersey statewide initiative to assist students from low-income backgrounds be successful at college, and this involves both financial support as well as academic support. And it's a program that we're really heavily engaged with, and we have, other than just myself, many other individuals, both in financial aid and in admissions, assigned to kind of help incoming students apply and be enrolled in this. So I'll talk a little bit more about this later on, and I'll also, if there's any specific questions about EOF, you're talking to somebody who can definitely answer them for you. So do not hesitate to ask. There's also TRIO, which I think many of you are probably familiar with. It's similar to EOF, but it is a New Jersey state program for academic support for incoming students. We also have the Learning Center. The Learning Center is where you can go on campus to get tutoring and find resources to actually help you directly with coursework if you need it. So like I said, tutoring is one thing that they can help you with, but additionally, we also have, practice tests and things of that nature, just, general class coursework kind of assistance things. We do have a disability service office. So if you have anything related to disabilities that you need extra support for, you can come to the disability service and office, and we will make accommodations for you. Absolutely. So a little bit more on our different services that we provide. So we do have a health and wellness center. We have a gym on campus, and we also have medical services on campus. Rutgers actually offers health insurance for students who may not have it that you can enroll in, which is a really, really great resource if you're in need of it. We also have something called the Writing and Design Lab, which is a relatively new institution on campus. It's run by the English department, and it's essentially a resource for students who are writing papers and giving presentations. You can go to the Writing and Design Lab, and they will help you conduct research. If you need to give a presentation for class, they can do practice presentations with you. They can kind of walk you through different software tools and different resources that we have on campus. It's a really valuable resource, especially for your freshman year. If you're kind of getting used to those freshman writing classes and, doing your first big kind of research papers or research projects in college, seriously an incredible resource. Also very, very nice facilities. It's really nice. I've only been in there once because I'm relatively new, but it's very nice. We also have traditional academic advisors. Obviously, these people will help you, enroll in coursework, make sure that you are on track to graduate, make sure that you are taking the courses you need to complete your studies. You'll generally get in touch with these folks middle of the semester as you're making your schedule for the next semester, but they're nice. They're all very nice people, and you can always, get in touch with them, not just at the time when you're making your schedule, and they will help answer questions you may have and also offer general coursework advice. There's when I was a student, I know that I ended up having to take a lot of classes that I was not super enthusiastic about my last couple of years because I neglected to talk to my academic advisor. So don't be like me when you're a student. Make good friends with your academic advisor. Career Center. The Career Center is an extremely valuable resource. Again, it's one of those offices that students tend not to get engaged with until they are juniors or seniors. But I think a piece of advice from me, if you can, get into that Career Center and talk to the people in there sooner rather than later. They have job postings. They can help you write your resume. They can help you write a cover letter. They can do mock interviews. They have tons of resources for finding internships and jobs, part-time, full-time, in New Jersey, in Philadelphia, in the surrounding areas. I cannot stress enough how useful they can be to you if you are looking to find a job, if you are looking to find, sorry, my light turned off. If you are looking to just find general opportunities or fine tune your resume, anything like that, the Career Center is a place. Again, very nice folks over there. Don't be a stranger. Don't just go your senior year. Show up a little earlier than that. And then last but not least, we have the Honors College. The Honors College is a program that is that you will be invited to based on your academic achievements. The Honors College offers some specific courses that are honors courses, that are seminars, tend to be a little bit smaller. They tend to be a little bit more focused on specific topics. But they also offer additional kind of academic resources, and there are opportunities for additional scholarships through the Honors College. So again, that is something that you do need to be invited to join based on your academic performance, but it's good to know about. Definitely worth, making sure you keep those grades up, and, worth striving to get into, because the resources they offer are very, very valuable and very useful. So a little bit about campus life. So campus life, we have 100+ student clubs, organizations, and activities. They're all over, and even during the pandemic, they have been active, doing things remotely, keeping community together. It's been really, really kind of incredible to see the amount of community that has been maintained through our clubs and organizations through, the last couple of years. We also have a very strong background in civic engagement. So we do have an Office of Civic Engagement that is primarily, deals with volunteer work around Camden and the surrounding area. Kind of a big part of Rutgers Camden's identity is our civic engagement. It's something that we really strive to encourage students to partake in. There's tons of opportunities, and there's different events, and they have their own calendar of things that are going on. There's also opportunities to earn additional scholarships and things like that through civic engagement. So it's definitely something that you want to keep on your radar if you're interested in volunteer work. Aside from the potential of things like scholarships, it's Camden is a really great city, and Rutgers Camden in particular is part of the identity of this city, and it's something that, again, we take a lot of pride in as a university. How many of our students are active in the community and volunteering. For our athletes, we do have 17 NCAA Division III teams. I don't know them all off the top of my head, but there's track and baseball, softball, I think swimming. But yes, we have 17 of them. We also have a number of intramural and club sports. So even if you want to do something more casual, there are absolutely opportunities on campus to do some more casual athletics. We have state-of-the-art facilities. A lot of our facilities are more recent, have been either renovated or have been built recently. The new nursing building, which is on 5th, is right across from Cooper, is immaculate. It's unbelievable how nice it is. It's really something. So for the most part, all of our facilities are very, very new and are state of the art and are truly nice. As somebody who's gone to a school that does not have state-of-the-art facilities, it's extremely nice. We also have residence life, so we do have on-campus housing. We have 2 main housing dorm buildings. They are both apartment style dorms. What that means is that they're not like a dorm you would see in like a 90s sitcom or something. They're not like the bunk beds in one room and a shared bathroom with the hall. They are apartment style, so they have a private bathroom, they have a little kitchenette or full kitchen, and there are rooms within the dorm that are separate. So there's more creature comfort there, definitely more privacy, a little bit more modern. If you're into the retro bunk bed type experience, I'm sorry, but yeah, they are apartment style. They're very, very nice, and we do have 2 of them, and we do offer obviously on campus living, which you can apply for once you've been admitted. So a little bit about just kind of opportunities beyond campus. We are in Camden, so you're in a city that is very, very much an up-and-coming city. The revitalization of Camden has been really incredible over the past 10 years, and Rutgers has been right there, part of it. Subaru, Campbell's, both huge businesses in Camden. There's also, of course, the aquarium and BB&T Arena. Really major venues and institutions. Lots of business growth on the waterfront, which is actually where we are. We're literally, for those of you who may not have been to Camden or ever seen our campus, we're at the foot of the Benjamin Franklin Bridge. So extremely accessible via public transportation. Both the River Line and PATCO both stop minutes away from campus, right on campus. So Philadelphia, obviously right across the river, takes about 5 minutes to get there by train, maybe a little bit more during commuter hours if things are clogged up. Also, by car, it takes 5 minutes to get over the bridge and over into Philadelphia. You're 2 hours from New York City, you're 2 hours from Washington, D.C., an hour from Atlantic City. It's really, I can't stress enough what an ideal location it is. There's tons of opportunities right here in Camden. But no matter what you're doing, internship-wise, job-wise, you're going to be hard-pressed to not be able to find something somewhere in the immediate area, whether it be Camden, Philadelphia, New York, DC, wherever. And Camden truly is, not to just say, oh, these other cities are close, but Camden truly is growing in a way where there's tons of opportunity right here. So admissions, the exciting stuff. I know we have a mix of students year-wise in here, so I'm just going to go over this, and you know, if you have questions about anything specific, I can definitely address those once I get through the presentation. But as of right now, admissions for first-year students, we have a required self-reported academic record, which is basically a transcript that you fill out with your coursework for us that we then pull information from. As of right now, SATs and ACT scores are optional right at this moment in time. It seems like most likely it is going to be test optional next year into 2023. I cannot guarantee that just because things are in flux, but we in admissions are expecting it to continue as test optional. But I can't like firmly definitively say that to you. So that's one thing that you will have to kind of keep an eye on as things develop, but we are expecting it to stay test optional. There is a required essay, which there's a number of topics you can choose from to write about. We do require high school transcripts in specific situations, and you will need to submit a high school transcript after, or you know, to confirm your admittance after you are admitted. Certain programs do have auditions and portfolio reviews. Those are mainly the fine arts programs. Theater and things like studio art and such will request either an audition or a portfolio typically, but not always, depends on the program specifically. We do have an application fee. The application fee at the moment is $70. If you are EOF, it can be waived. And if you are experiencing, you know, financial hardship, you can get in touch with us in admissions, and you know, we can work it out and waive the fee if need be. Also, yeah, definitely want to list extracurriculars on your application for us. It's definitely something to look for. For transfer students, we do require college transcripts of all the colleges you have attended. The essay is optional in this case. You do still need to pay the application fee, and we do request high school transcripts and SATs depending on the number of credits you're coming in with. So fairly similar, but keep in mind if you are a transfer, I don't think there are any in here, but yeah, you do need to have basically transcripts for everything that every college you've been to and potentially high school. So admissions deadlines. These are for this year, for 2022. I don't expect them to be any different for 2023. They're pretty set, but keep in mind that if you're going to be applying for 2023, just, you know, check late summer, early fall, just to make sure that these are the dates. I don't expect them to be any different. But early action deadline is November 1st. For you to apply for early action, and you should get a decision by the 31st of January. And then regular action deadline is 12/1, it's December 1st, and you should be getting a decision by February 28th. We will look at applications received after those dates, and generally we will be accepting students and reviewing applications up until, you know, we reach capacity for enrollment for different departments and schools and programs. However, please, you know, it's better for you to get it in before the deadline. Obviously, it makes our lives slightly easier, and it guarantees that you're going to be, you know, reviewed and, you know, get your fair shot at it. Not that we stop reviewing really tightly after these dates, but one thing I will say is that if you are interested in the nursing program, the nursing deadlines are pretty strict. They're you know, we get a lot of applicants for the School of Nursing, so you definitely want to make sure that you're getting things in for the deadline. Transfer deadlines, it's February 1st is our deadline, and the new decision should be April 15th. Also keep in mind these decision dates, a lot of the time you'll get decisions before that. You know, this date is generally the latest you'll be hearing. So financial aid, the second most exciting part of this presentation. So this is our FAFSA code. If you need that, I would definitely recommend screenshotting it or writing it down. FAFSA is the free application for student aid. It's a federal form that is serviced by the federal government that is essentially used for determining your financial aid eligibility for things like Pell Grants, scholarships, loans, etc., which we'll talk more about in a second. We also use FAFSA to determine financial aid and scholarship for Rutgers. So if you want to receive financial aid in any form, either federal, state, or from Rutgers directly, you do need to complete your FAFSA, and you do need to make sure that you have it set for the information package to be sent to Rutgers. FAFSA application, it's pretty straightforward. You just need your social security number, and you'll need to have information from your so for 2022, you would need to have your financial information for 2020. If you're applying 2023, it's going to be 2021. So it's 2 years back is when it's going to be looking at that financial information. 86% of our undergraduate students do receive financial aid. So most of our student body is receiving some type of financial aid. Rutgers Camden has very generous financial aid packages. So it's definitely in your best interest. Even if you think maybe you're like not going to get anything, like you should definitely still do it for sure. So more specifics about kind of the need and merit-based aid and scholarships that we provide. We do have merit-based scholarships. I can't speak in great detail to the different specific merit scholarships. There are a bunch of different ones. You can look into the specific schools you're interested in within the college, and they usually have more specific information about like their specific merit-based scholarships. Need-based scholarships though, and financial aid. We have tuition aid grants, and we also have something called Bridging the Gap, which I'm going to talk about on the next slide because it is a very important thing that I want to make sure everybody knows about. And these are where merit-based is based on, academic performance, extracurriculars, things of that nature. Need-based this is stuff that is going to be pulling directly off your FAFSA and looking at your financial background to determine your eligibility. There's also post-admission scholarships. So there's school-based scholarships depending on which school you're in. We do have the Civic Scholars Program, which is involved with our civic engagement. As I mentioned, there are scholarship opportunities there. There are scholarships available through the Honors College. The International Chancellor Scholarship, which is for our international students. I don't know if there's any international students in here. I don't think there are. But if in case you are, that's for you. And then there are separate organizations that that you can apply for separately that are not directly affiliated with Rutgers that offer scholarships. So Bridging the Gap. This is, remember when I said Rutgers Camden was rated, one of the best bang for buck schools in the country. This is really the thing that is kind of where that comes from. So it's a program for New Jersey residents. Bridging the Gap is a university investment in students that offers an additional grant for tuition and campus fees based on the remaining balance after federal and state aid have been applied. And this is based on your income from 2 years prior. So your adjusted gross income, which is on your tax forms. So essentially, if your family/household income is below $65,000, Bridging the Gap will cover 100% of the tuition difference that is left over after federal and state financial aid are applied to your account. If your family makes $65,001 to $100,000, Bridging the Gap will cover 50% of the difference. So that's a pretty enormous scholarship. That's a very, very, very great amount of scholarship support. And again, it's why Rutgers Camden is considered, a bang for buck school, because you're getting a world-class education. And this particular scholarship program is extremely generous, and there's really not much else like it in the country that I know of. It's really quite unique. It is available for transfers that are coming out of the Camden Community College, but for the most part, other than our Camden Community College transfers, this is exclusively for first-year incoming students. So if you're applying for the first time, this is a scholarship that you definitely want to have on your radar, and you definitely do need to have your FAFSA filled out and applied to be eligible for this. So a little bit about loans and grants. So when you apply for your FAFSA, you will get you will be able to apply for subsidized loans through the federal government. These are loans that basically the federal government will pay the interest on while you're in school. They're unsubsidized loans. These are the same thing, but the government doesn't pay the interest on it. Generally, first-year undergraduates, you will be eligible for subsidized loans and their service to the federal government. You don't need a co-signer. There's also HESA, which is a New Jersey state initiative, and that's a grant that they give. There's Pell grants, which I neglected to mention with my federal stuff, which this is a federal need-based grant. So this is not a loan. This is a grant that they give you based on need. A lot of our students receive Pell grants at Rutgers Camden. There's also PLUS loans, which your parents can take out for your college education. And then, of course, there's always private banks, which I'm not going to really get into that because it's not necessarily my wheelhouse of expertise. But yeah, you can always go to a private bank, private lending institution to get a loan to cover your college education. So federal work study is something that is really, an essential part of our campus. Work study is a program that the federal government basically provides us with a pot of money for every year, and that is to hire federal work study students, hire our student body to do work for us on campus and pay them so that they have some, money to support themselves financially. This is not money that is included on your financial aid package, their FAFSA package, but when you apply for your FAFSA, it will ask you if you would like to be eligible for federal work study. So definitely say yes to that, and then you will be eligible to work as a federal work study student. Really good opportunities. There's stuff from working in the fitness center. We always have we always have federal work study students working in the admissions office as ambassadors and things like that. You can always work at Starbucks on campus. Impact booth, which is our student help desk. These are just jobs that you are able to get to, have some money to spend, help support yourself, but also, you can get some seriously useful professional experience and get something on your resume right off the bat. And it's definitely useful. And a lot of our incoming students, generally tend to do federal work study. So outcomes, also beautiful picture. If you come to Rutgers Camden, make sure you walk across the Benjamin Franklin Bridge on a nice spring or summer afternoon, because it is truly, truly a beautiful view over the Delaware River there. But outcomes. So these two numbers that I wanted everyone to kind of pay attention to at the beginning of the presentation. We have a 97% placement rate of our graduating undergraduate students. We are extremely proud of that number. That means that 97% of our graduating seniors are either going into a job in their field or an internship in their field, or are enrolled in a graduate program. And generally the other 3% are not just like lost to the wind. They're also generally doing something either part-time or engaged in research, or, doing something that is adjacent to their professional field, not to sell that other 3% short. We have an average mid-career salary of $87,000. That we gauge that at 8 to 10 years after graduation. So 8 to 10 years after graduation, the average salary that Rutgers Camden graduates make is $87,000, which is very, very good. Also, you will be joining a network of this number, 500,000 alumni. I was actually told recently is actually 750,000 alumni. That is the number of Rutgers alumni who are out there in the world. Rutgers is a globally, known academic institution. It's a pillar of the community in the Northeast of the United States and New Jersey. And nurses, scientists, accountants, philosophers, artists, writers. You can go anywhere into any profession and you will find Rutgers graduates, and you immediately have access to these to this alumni network. Why Rutgers Camden? Small campus, big family. Like I said, we have small class sizes, and that is something that's really important to us. The culture of our campus is about working hard, and things like community service.